Hello students, so today we continue lesson 7. In the last class we discussed about the presidency of operators. Now today we will take example for arithmetic expression which will contain more than one operators. Suppose 3 multiply 7 or floor division 7, 3 multiply 7, floor division 7 plus parenthesis 2 minus 1 multiply 4. So see, this is an arithmetic expression. So if we type this, if we write this expression in the Python, so what the Python will give the result? So as you can see, there is one operator, multiplication 1, this is division operator, this is division, this is addition operator, this is subtraction operator, this is multiplication operator. So total 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 arithmetic operators are there in this. So how we remove this? Which operator should we remove first? And one is the parenthesis also. That is the sixth one, parenthesis. So how you remove this? So as we have studied in the last class, this parenthesis has the highest priority. This parenthesis has the highest priority. So we should remove this parenthesis first. Okay? And after that, first parenthesis has the highest priority. Then after that, exclamation operator is not there. So this multiplication, division has the priority, and after that the addition and subtraction has the priority. So first parenthesis has the highest priority. So if you go down to writing in degrees, so what we are going to do? First of all, we remove the parenthesis. So how the parenthesis will be removed? If the operator inside the parenthesis will be removed first, then the parenthesis will be removed. So in this parenthesis there is two operators, one is minus and one is multiplication. As you see, multiplication has the highest priority compared to the minus. So the multiplication operator will be removed first. See what we write: 3 multiply 7, floor division 7 plus 2 minus 1 4. Now in this parenthesis contains only one operator, subtraction. So we remove this, and one line we remove only one operator. See, in first step I have removed this operator. The next step I am going to remove this one. 4 division 7 plus, now 2 minus 4 gives you the minus 2. 2 minus 4 gives you the minus 2. Next time we are seeing this is the unary operator. So plus minus will give you the minus 1. 3 multiply 7, now plus 7, minus 2. Now, again there is 3 operator, multiplication, division, and subtraction. Now this multiplication and division both have the same priority. Multiplication and division both have the same priority. So here we check the associativity rule. Which rule? So here we will check the associativity rule. Associativity rule says that while going from left to right in the arithmetic expression, if you encounter the operator first having the same priority, this both have the same priority, but when you move from left to right in the expression, we encounter this operator first, and after that we will get this division. So multiplication means all the arithmetic operators follow the left associativity rule. Left associativity rule. Left associativity rule. So all the arithmetic operators follow the left associativity rules. Means while going from left to right in the expression, which operator will encounter first will be removed first. Means both operators which have the same priority, out of them which will be encountered first, that will be removed first. So when you move from left to right, we will encounter this multiplication first and after that division. So first we remove the multiplication. So 3 7s are 21. Modulus 7 minus 2. Now these are the highest priority conversion to this subtraction. So first we divide. So 7 is 21, 3 minus 2 and finally 1. So what is the result of this? 1. So like this the question will be asked in the exam. An expression will be given and you have to simplify. You have to solve it. That is called the associativity rule. Okay. So now we move to the next question. Comments in Python. How you write the comments in Python? Comments in Python. So comments in Python is of two types. One is the single line comment. Single line comment. And second is a multi-line comment. Comment if you are having more than one line. Multi-line comment. Now, single line comment means write after this hash symbol. So after you use this hash symbol, in single line comment you use the hash symbol. So after hash symbol you can write the comment. Suppose you are writing a comment in the Python. So how you write? Hash program to find sum. Program to find sum. So program to find sum, this is a one line comment. This means hash says to the interpreter that this line is not a part of the program. So the interpreter will not going to execute the such lines which follow this hash symbol. This means this is a comment. This is not a part of a program. So why the comments are written? Comments are the statements that are added to a program for the purpose of making the code simpler to understand, making the code easier to understand. Suppose the third person wants to read the code, wants to understand the program. So if you have written the comments in the program, so it will be easier for the third person to understand your program, to understand the Python code. So that's why if you want to write a comment which contains of only one line, use this hash symbol. But if you want to write a multiple comment which contains more than one line, in that case use triple quote mark at the beginning and close it also by the triple quote mark. For example, suppose if you want to write a multi-line comment, so I will write triple quote marks. Here I write program to find the LCM of 4 numbers. So see, this comment contains more than one line, 2 lines. So at the beginning I will open the triple quotation mark and at the end also I will close the triple quotation mark. So the multi-line comments are written inside the triple quotation mark. That you can see in the book also. Now next the types of control structures. Types of control structures. Types of control structures. See, this control structure is of 3 types. This control structure is of 3 types. sequential statement, conditional statement or iterative statement. One is the sequential statement. Sequential statement, conditional statement, and the iterative statement. That is the loop. Iterative statement. So this control structures. So there are three types of control structures in the Python program. So the statements generally executed in a sequential manner. In a Python, whenever we write a program, the first statement is executed by the Python, and after that second statement, then third statement. That is called the sequential execution. Now, sometimes we want to skip the certain part of the code of the program. In that case, we use the control structures, the control statements. So the different types of the control flow of the program. In the sequential statement, the program is executed in a sequential manner where one statement is followed by the other. But in a conditional statement, with the help of the conditional statement, we can call the program control to transfer the specific location depending on the outcome of the conditional expression. So for this we have to take an example. Let write a program, simple program to calculate the area of a rectangle. Okay, so we are going to write a simple program to calculate the area of a rectangle, and then see this how. So to calculate the area of a program, to calculate the area of, so writing the command program to calculate area of rectangle. This is a command. So to calculate the area of a rectangle, we will take two inputs from the user. So we need two variables. L is equal to, we will assign the length 10, and breadth we assign 20. Now to calculate the area, we use area is equal to L into V. So this is the sequential execution. And after that we write the print statement to print this area. Print area. So Python interpreter will execute this first line. When the Python gets to this line, Python will assign the value 10 to the variable L. In second step, the Python will assign the value 20 to the variable B. In third step, Python will do this calculation. The result of L into B, it will multiply the values of L and B, and the result will be assigned to the variable area. And in the fourth line, it will print the value present in the variable area. Okay, so what you get the output? You get the output 200. So for this program, you will find the output. Get the output 200 on the screen. That is the area. But if you want to skip certain part, means you want to print area if area is less than, if the area is less than 100 generally. So see how we can do it. So before this line, we write one the conditional statement. We write one condition. The conditional statement. If here we write if area is less than 100. If area is less than 100, this we have written. Then we write the print statement. Print area. Else, so here means if the area is less than 100. Here the area we got 200 and 200 is not less than 100. if the condition is false. If the condition is false, so this line will not execute. That is, if the condition is false, the Python interpreter will skip this line. Or if the condition is true, Python interpreter will execute this line and you will get the output. Means in this program you are going to get the no output. There will be no output because the area is not less than 100. So you will get no output. This line will not execute. That is called the conditional statement. So we have skipped this line. So with the help of the conditional statement, we call the program control to transfer to the specific location. Now since the condition is false, so the program control is transferred to the last line. The program is stopped and we got no output. If the condition is true, so then only the Python interpreter will print this value of the variable area. Otherwise it will not. So if a condition statement is true, then one set of the statements is executed, otherwise the other set of statement is executed. So here we can, for the false statement, we can write the line else part. After this we can write the continuous program, and what we can write else. Else. So in the else what we write? Print that area is greater than 100. Print area is greater than 100. Or simply we can also write this area is greater than 100. That also we can write. So in this time, when this program is executed, we get the output area greater than 100. So what will the output at this time? We get this area greater than 100. This is the output because the condition is false. So when the condition is false, this part will escape. Python interpreter will execute this line else block. Next is the iterative statement. Means if you want to execute the same piece of code, same command, same line, more number of times, or a different number of times, or an indefinite number of times, we use the loops. That is called the iterative statement. That is called the iterative statement. To repeat a certain task more number of times, we use the iterative statements. This we will study in detail in the lesson 8. What the loops are there? So basically one thing we know, iterative statements are used to perform, to execute a particular code, a specific piece of code, a fixed number of time or indefinite number of times. That its execution depends upon the result of the condition. Till the condition is true, the given specific code, the given line, suppose this line I have written in the loop, so this 3 lines will execute a certain number of times till the condition is true, otherwise it will not execute. Okay. So this is the conditional statement and the flowchart is given. So flowchart is the pictorial representation of the flow of the steps or procedure to solve a problem. As here the flowchart is given. So in the flowchart we see about the flow. Flowchart is a pictorial representation of the flow of steps or procedure to solve a problem. Here one problem is given. You are visiting the ATM and you are entering the PIN. If the PIN is correct, you can withdraw the money. If the PIN is not correct, you cannot withdraw the money. So how you write this? First you start. For the start you use. So this is the start. So you are starting the process. Okay. So next, after that, the process. Here, go to the ATM and enter the PIN input. You are taking the input. This is the input block. So input and output is represented in this rectangular block. So enter the pin. You have go to the ATM. Go to ATM. Enter pin. Enter pin. So you enter the pin. Now this pin will be compared. This pin will be checked. So for conditions are written in this rhombus shape. Is the correct pin? So question is pin correct? So its answer will be true. Either yes or no. Means if your pin is correct, if the condition result is true, this means again withdraw the money. The output will be withdraw money. You can withdraw the money. You can withdraw the money. If false, cannot withdraw money. Cannot withdraw money. Okay? And after that, finally, the procedure will stop. If it is true, pin is correct, you withdraw the money and it will stop. Program execution will stop. If pin is not correct, then also cannot withdraw the money and the program execution will stop. It will come to an end. So this is called the flow chart. So flow chart is the representation of the flow of steps or procedure to solve a problem. So it is a problem given that either you can withdraw the money from the ATM or not. So when you can withdraw the money from the ATM, if your pin is correct, then you can withdraw the money. So this is the first you start now. Go to ATM, enter pin. Now you are starting the program. Go to ATM, enter pin. Now the process is here. Check pin is correct or not. This will check by the ATM machine. If it is correct, it will allow you to withdraw the money. If it is not correct, it will not allow you to withdraw the money and the execution of the program will stop. You have to withdraw from the ATM. Okay. So for this we use the different conditional statement if else if that many types of the conditional statements are there. We use for this comparison. One we use if else and if else else. These three type of the conditions we use. So in the next class we will study about this the three different condition. If condition, if else condition, if and else condition. Okay. So this is all for today. Thank you for your kind attention.